There's a pretty surprising trend from the Chicago Bears' first 2 preseason games that I want to share with you guys. So what is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, guys, hit that subscribe button down below. I promise you, you do not want to miss out with the season right around the corner. All right. Okay, so let's get into this. So I saw this on X, aka Twitter. And this is coming from Ian Hartz, who's actually a fantasy football analyst, but you'll understand why it still doesn't matter where the source is kind of coming from because it's about the number itself. So he basically tweeted 11 personnel usage, the teams and the percent that they've used so far in preseason. So he put down the Rams and the Falcons at the top with over 97 and 98.5% usage, and all the way down at 32. So he meant to highlight the Bears being dead last year. They were dead last at 40.2%, utilizing 11 personnel. So let's talk about this, all right? What exactly is 11 personnel? If you guys are not familiar, 11 personnel is essentially when you only have one tight end on the field with 3 wide receivers and a running back. So it's the most common grouping that most teams use, right? The 3 wide receivers. If you played Madden, you should be very familiar with it, right? It's 3 wide receivers and a tight end. 12 personnel is 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends. And then you've got 13 personnel, which is pretty rare, but that's 1 wide receiver and 3 tight ends, okay? So essentially, the Bears, through 2 preseason games, have been using 11 personnel dead last at 40.2%. Why is that surprising? That's because 11 personnel should, and I'm putting should in quotes here because that should be the optimal way that I believe Shane Waldron should be utilizing this offense based on the roster. Now, I'm not a coach or an offensive coordinator. I'm just trying to tell you that the Bears have 3 elite receivers. Again, Rome Odunze is a rookie, but we expect him to be very good. The Bears have 3 very good / elite receivers, and they have solid tight ends for sure. But with the receivers, you probably want those 3 guys out there as much as you can. And that would require what? 11 personnel. But Shane Waldron has been using it at the least amount, which means he's using 12 and 13 personnel more, which means it's more, again, Gerald Everett, more Cole Kmet. And that part is surprising because why wouldn't you want Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, and DJ Moore out there at all times? Really as much as you can. So I'd put those 3 out there with Cole Kmet and then at times with Gerald Everett. But it seems like Shane Waldron's not doing that in preseason. Now, I hadn't noticed this, again, until I saw the numbers, but that is alarming. So what are my thoughts on this? First and foremost, as I mentioned, I would expect the usage to be heavy towards 11 personnel if I was, looking at what I thought Shane Waldron would do. So I went back and even saw what he did in Seattle. Last year in Seattle, he ran 11 personnel at 58%, which was just about the league average. I think it was actually a little bit more, like 14th. And then the year before, it was actually pretty low at 46%. Now, last year, they got Jackson Smith-Njigba, so I guess that's why they upped it, right? Because they upgraded the number 3 receiver. So to me, here's what I think happens, all right? I believe in preseason, they're probably trying a few things here. But come regular season time, I expect that number to spike up. I can't imagine it staying that low. I think it's going to be easily over 50%. And probably more than that. So I can't imagine that this number doesn't improve. But maybe early on in the year, maybe just early on, they bring Rome Odunze along a little slower. So you're talking about Keenan and DJ probably in 2 wide receiver sets. And then you're utilizing the tight ends. Look, folks, Gerald Everett's not going anywhere, okay? Through 2 games, he's played 29 snaps and Cole Kmet 19 snaps. Okay, so he is getting more usage than Cole Kmet. Gerald Everett played for Shane Waldron previously, so he's a big fan of him. So my point being is Shane Waldron is going to use his guys and use what he's familiar with, and the tight ends are going to be very heavily involved in the system, and that's not a bad thing. But if Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, and DJ Moore are your best way to win games, that 11 personnel usage better shoot up. Okay, so I'm not going to freak out right now over preseason. Preseason tends to have a lot of funky things happen that don't translate to the regular season. Like wins, for example, never translate really, right? A bunch of teams can win in the preseason. Doesn't really translate all the time in the regular season. So I'm not going to pay too much attention to that. But I thought it was interesting to point out because I feel like this is one of those things where teams should probably, use the personnel in preseason that they plan to in the regular season just to see what they have with the guys out there. So again, I expect it to change. I expect it to shoot up. I don't think it'll be this low. But yeah, Bears were dead last in 11 personnel usage. I want to see 3 wide receivers out there, not 2, Shane. So let's see that number come up come week 1. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think we are going to be using more 11 personnel, or do you think it'll be, a little bit more 12? I think we're seeing the tight ends more. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts. Again, I think this number's shooting up. I'm not buying into this down usage. I think we're going to see those 3 receivers, but it might take a little bit. It might take 4, 5, 6 weeks into the season as we ease in Rome Odunze, the rookie wide receiver. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts as always. Thanks for watching.